Hello and welcome to another Dolphin Financial Radio show. Today's topic, Social Security, and it's failing. It's failing, everyone. The cracks in our society are showing. And August 31st, 2021, the Social Security Administration released a report that shows that we're heading to trouble faster than we thought last year. Does it have to do with COVID? Does it have to do with Social Security's design to begin with? We're going to talk about it. We're going to bring in an expert on Social Security. Tony Shore, there he is. Oh my goodness, he's back in his basement. Listen, Tony, I'm not going to say it's your mom's basement, but it's your basement.
I'm sorry. Wait, did you say Social Security is failing?
Yeah, Tony is surprised. Look at him. He is surprised. And you know what I'm going to do, Tony? I'm going to reference this little annual report to Congress that came out at the end of August of 2021.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're not talking about Van Halen today. We have to talk about... I thought if I distracted you enough today, Dan, we could shift from the failing of Social Security to talk about Van Halen records.
Look
Sorry.
at the look at the pretty picture. Pretty picture. This is what we're talking about, Tony. This is what we're talking about. Right.
Okay, I'm back on track. I'm on track. You just scared me a little bit, so I had to, focus on something positive for a little while there.
All right. We're good, though? We're good now? Or
I'm good.
Are we bad? We're bad.
No.
We're bad.
Well, Social Security is bad.
2034. We're going to be depleted. See, I'll put a show up here. We did a show, was it 2 years ago or last year? I don't remember what, but we talked about how it's going to be depleted in 2035 or 2036. Now,
sure,
it's 2024. So the Social Security has a board that oversees it. And the board and the usual suspects are on it. You got Treasury Secretary Yellen on there. There's a bunch of people that are Homeland Health and Human Services. So there's also 2 appointed spots on the board, and those are currently not filled. So I'm going to throw Tony's name in the ring. But in all seriousness, this is a scary topic, and I want to talk about it. What is happening with Social Security? Why is it failing? How close we are to failing, what we could do about it, and what you should do about it, listener. If you are thinking, I want to stop this from happening, or if you're thinking about taking Social Security, should you take it right away? We'll talk about that too. So let's start off by talking about what the real problem is here, Tony.
Okay.
According to this latest report from a few weeks ago, they're only going to have 78% of the benefits available in 2034.
Okay.
So what that means is
it's not going to be down to 0, but it's going to not be at 100% by 2034.
Right. I want to show the actual numbers here so people can understand exactly what I mean, because we talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
But people don't get the numbers. So the big number is in 2034, that's when there's not going to be enough money to pay everybody. Only 78% of the benefits will be paid. Now, on the previous show, I talked about how people saying, well, let's take it early because I might as well get it while I can because it's going to be gone by the time if I delay. But I want it to be clear. They're going to pay out in 2034. These are just projections, by the way, but they'll pay out in 2034 and they'll pay everyone 78% of what they would have gotten. So if you delay, you'll get a higher amount, but you're going to get only 78% of it. If you take it early, you're going to get a lower amount for life, and they're going to take 78% of that and pay you. So, but let's go through these numbers because I think it's important for people to truly get it. Okay, so Social Security is a fund, and they have all their assets together.
It's like a trust fund,
right? And that fund is increased by taxes. People putting into Social Security, W-2, your Social Security tax comes out, right?
Right.
That fund last year, 2020, increased by $11 billion. So the fund has $2.9 trillion in it.
Wow.
Okay. So last year we increased. Okay. That sounds good. But here's the problem.
Sounds great.
This year, 2021, The total cost of the program is projected to exceed total annual income for the first time since your favorite president, Ronald Reagan, was in office.
Yeah.
I think he was in office in 82, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2021, this year, the second year of COVID, we're going to have less money coming into it than going out. Let's talk about what those numbers look like.
Okay.
So total income in 2020 was 1.118 trillion. How did that get there? We had 1 trillion from payroll tax contributions, so people putting in from their paycheck.
Yeah, employers and employees putting into Social Security, they have to pay 6% each, right?
So 1 trillion came in from there. 41 billion came in from taxation of Social Security benefits. Because remember, Social Security gets taxed, right? We do shows on that. People don't realize their Social Security benefit is taxable.
Interesting. I didn't know that tax necessarily went back into Social Security. I'm glad to hear that. I thought that might, if they tax Social Security and use that tax just to go into some general fund where it disappears,
It stays in the family, right?
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
And then 76 billion of interest.
Ah, interest.
That's
Who's
interesting.
paying that interest, I wonder?
China?
So they've invested it? Yeah, who knows? They've invested it, maybe? I don't know.
They do. They do. I will tell you exactly what interest rate they're getting too. Okay. So if you look here, most of it's coming from payroll. Okay. So if we have less people working on the books, less is coming in. If we have more people taking from Social Security and less people putting in, there's where the problem lies.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem right there, right? I would assume that's where the rubber's going to meet the road. But can we clarify that you're getting these numbers from the official Social Security Administration?
Yes. You can
these aren't just some far left or far right news site that you don't know whether it's fake news or not. This is the actual government numbers from the Social Security Administration.
That's right. And if you go to ssa.gov, ssa.gov, right in the newsroom, there's a headline: Social Security Board of Trustees. The combined trust funds projected depletion 1 year sooner than last year. So this is their report that they put out. So that board that I mentioned has 2 seats, and I'm going to put one of your name into for both. I'll put it in for both.
Yeah, I'd like to sit on that board.
That board put together this report saying, hey, look, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Right. But we've known this. This is not news.
I could have told them that. I could be on that board. Hey, we're in trouble.
We did a show. I'll put the show up here, over there, on how much it costs to run the Social Security Administration and how they're asking for more money to run it. The admin cost. The admin cost is $6.3 billion. That's less than 1% of the total money there to actually administer it. So that's not where the money's going. They wanted to increase that to 11 billion, I think, but whatever. That's insignificant. Okay. Here's the interest rate, Tony. The interest rate, the effective interest rate that we're getting on our money there, 2.6.
Wow.
Not bad. That's better than the banks are giving.
It's better than the government's own official inflation numbers have been typically. I mean, not this year, but
I wonder if we could create it so that you could give money to the Social Security Trust Fund and get an interest back. Man, I know a lot of people that would take 2%. I guess that's
I'll
what
take
Treasury bonds
2.6%. Yeah, that's.
I guess that's what's with the security bonds, savings bonds, Treasury bonds.
U.S. savings bonds are basically that.
They're not giving 2.6 though.
They're not giving the 2.6 though.
They have a good. They must be borrowing from like someone that wants to give them extra money, Argentina or something. Who knows? Okay, so Social Security's cost exceeded its non-interest income. So the interest income, the cost. Let's go back. So the cost is is exceeding, if you take away the 76 billion of interest, we are taking out more than that. The 76 billion of interest is helping us a little bit.
Sure.
Because we're only 11 billion in the green. Most of that, all of that came from interest. So we haven't had this. We've been dealing with this sort of problem since 2010. The cost is more than we bring in. The interest has been saving us. Not anymore. Not anymore. 2021 marks the beginning of the decrease in assets. Let's put this in just basic terms, Tony. You have a checking account at home.
Yep.
Let's imagine that you don't have any other assets. All you have is your checking account.
Sure.
You get your salary from radio co-hosting. That goes in there. Your wife's salary goes in there. Then you pay for the rent, the mortgage, the kids, whatever. And at the end of the month, you have a little bit left. Now, 2021, at the end of the month, you don't have any left. In fact, you got to borrow from your savings or your credit card or something. So this is the year that Social Security is actually seeing that asset, that big asset, go down. So the fund is going down, which means they're taking some and paying it out. Less money to stay there to get interest. So it's going to spiral down quickly. And that's why they're saying 2035. 2035 is when they're just not going to have enough money. But if we wait until 2035 to do something about it, we're done.
Oh yeah, no, they have to do something about it. So, and in the past, I mean, they've fired warning shots in the past where, oh, we don't think Social Security is going to make it beyond this, or we can't fund it properly beyond this. I think this has happened in the past, Dan. And so what happens, though, is they do things to shore it up, so to speak. No pun intended.
Sure.
But
Good one.
get it? So, but the thing is I mean, our government, they're great at this. They can't necessarily do it exactly with this, but we're the government. We can print more money. So we can kind of fudge a bit and make it work, or take money from somewhere or print money and make it work. I mean, they can find a way, I think, to help it, but not completely solve the problem without it costing us, right? I think the bottom line is they're probably going to have to raise the full retirement age, so you can't start collecting the bigger benefits until you get older, or the benefits are smaller for those who start collecting, right? They're going to make adjustments to help shore up the fund, right?
They're going to make adjustments. They have to. They have to make changes. So they could raise the retirement age.
Yep.
They could lower the benefits. And now those are the ideas the Republicans are coming up with. The Democrats want to increase taxes. So increase the amount of money coming in. My suggestion is do both.
Yeah. Well, they're going to, I know the current proposal, like in the Biden tax proposal that he's trying to push through, the current administration, the Democrats want to double it for high earners, right? Like instead of 6%, they'd pay 12.
They want to
think
raise
that's part
the
of it.
rate, and they also want to increase the amount of income that is taxable for Social Security purposes.
Right.
Because there's a limit to that. I think it's like 140,000. Anything over that, you don't pay Social Security tax on. So they want to raise that. And they might say, all right, the first 100 you pay taxes on, after that you don't, and then anything over 400,000 of income you pay taxes on for Social Security. So but the thing is, Tony, they got to do something soon. They can't wait. And I think that this report, I mean, every year we hear it, it's like scary.
Yeah.
But
it is.
I think seeing the amount in the fund go down for the first time ever.
Yeah.
That's going to get people to think twice and say, we need to do something about it. We need to do something about it. So that brings me to my question of the day. What should you do about it?
Wait, only I can prevent forest fires? Why is it all
Only
on
you?
me?
Yes. That's what I need. I need my Uncle Sam hat and a shovel. Only you could prevent. Social Security
Yeah.
from
I think we
collapsing.
probably have viewers out there, Dan, or listeners that are looking at you and the words beside your beautiful face there. Social Security is failing and thinking, okay, what am I going to do about it? I can't do anything about it. The government's going to have to fix it. So what are you saying? What should you do about Social Security failing? What can I do?
To be honest with you, Tony, it's so basic that, and it's cliche, but you have to contact your local rep and say, please do something about it. I don't care who they are, Republican or Democrat. If enough people call them and say, you have to do it. Now, everyone's scared of the seniors. No, seniors are my clientele. I'm not scared of seniors.
But the politicians are
scared of seniors,
of
right?
their votes, right?
And they have this misguided belief that senior citizens are going to freak out if anyone talks about Social Security changes.
Mm-hmm.
They might if you say we're going to cut benefits, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But if you say we have to make changes, maybe we're going to cut benefits for the future retirees, maybe we're going to increase the amount of taxes, I think most people I know are going to say, I get it. If we don't do anything, everyone's going to collapse, and that doesn't help anybody. So I'm willing to see it, especially for my kids and grandkids.
Yeah.
I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit for my kids or grandkids. And for the most part, retirees aren't the ones going to be sacrificing. It's going to be current workers and people earning extra money, a lot of money. They're going to be the ones bearing the brunt of this. And future retirees, okay, you're going to move the retirement age from 67 to 68. Okay. a 30-year-old might say, fine, I could deal with that. That's a lot better than saying we're going to run out by the time I'm 50.
Well, sure. Yeah.
So I think everyone should just contact their rep and say, it's okay for you to address this problem. I'm not telling you what to do. Just do something. Don't kick the can. Don't kick the can. It's got to be addressed now. Yeah. And I mean, like within the next couple of years, like during the Biden administration, this needs to happen. And that's not music to my ears, because you know that I'm a libertarian at heart, and I'm not looking forward to having changed the government involvement in anything. But this is a government program that I believe in, and it needs to be improved. It needs to be fixed. We did it in the 80s with Reagan. We could do it again. We will do it again. Yeah. So that gets me to my next question or next point on this. What can you do if you're getting ready to retire and take Social Security?
Right. I know that's what you're talking about, really, not what we can do to change to help Social Security on a governmental level. But you came up with a good one, write your senator, call your senator. But the question is, what can I do with my finances to prepare for this?
I think that a lot of people thinking, I might as well take it as soon as possible because before I know it, it's going to be gone. And I disagree with that. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't take it early, because some people should. It depends. So what I would recommend you do is do the analysis, do the Social Security maximization report. I'll put that up here. Do that analysis. Look at it, and it's going to tell you what the options are. And then talk to your advisor, talk to me about how this Social Security depletion impacts it. Because we can talk about that and say, here's why you might want to take it early. Here's why you might want to delay. You got a marriage, divorce, something in there. It's going to change things. Don't base your Social Security decision on this right here. Because if it fails, it's failing for everyone, not just you. So you're going to have to take a big picture approach to this, and you're going to have to take a leap of faith that the government's going to fix it. And if they do fix it, they're not going to change the progressive nature. They're not going to reward people taking it early. They're going to, if anything, they're going to reward a delay. So if you take it early and then a year later it gets fixed and they're saying, now here's the new rules, and you've already taken it, you're going to say, why did I do that? I can't undo it. Right? Yeah. So think twice before that. So
good point.
To wrap this up, Tony, Social Security is failing, but this is not new. This is no surprise. We've been here before. We've been here in the 80s, but last year we were here. It's just failing a little quicker, probably because of COVID, less people working, putting in. We got to push for a fix. So contact your representatives and let them know they got to do something about it. Because they just, if you started getting a bunch of letters talking about Social Security, you might bring it up in the next meeting and say, yeah, my constituents want this addressed, and it might get pushed up, right? But be strategic about your own benefits and don't make a rash decision. That would be my advice.
Good advice. Good advice. Well, yeah, Social Security, we keep hearing these rumors, and here's some substantial news that it is, in fact, going to be depleted. So they hopefully will do something, but in the meantime, be prepared. I think it's a good lesson.
And don't panic.
Don't panic. Yeah, that's the key right there. Don't panic and always carry a towel.
That's right. Always carry the towel. And you know who's probably going to get hit the worst out of all this when it finally gets fixed? My kids, right? The young ones.
Our kids, the young ones. Yeah.
The young ones. So with that, we'll bring them in to let everyone know that I don't work for Social Security. And if you got questions, feel free to reach out. Let me know. I'll put my contact information up here.
All matters discussed in today's show are for informational purposes only.
This show is not investment advice.
Dan Riddle nor Dolphin Financial Group are affiliated or endorsed by any government agency.
Investment advisory services are offered through Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc., a registered investment advisor in the state of Florida.
Insurance products and services are offered through Dolphin Insurance, Inc.
Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc. and Dolphin Insurance, Inc. are affiliated companies doing businesses as Dolphin Financial Group.
You should talk to someone at Dolphin Financial Group before implementing any of these strategies or ideas.